All right, welcome back everybody to Nade at Night. I have UberNick here to sit down for a little chat, and just a little chat. But YouTube, Twitch extraordinaire, one of the top Halo streamers. If you watch Halo, you probably know who he is. If you watch me, you definitely know who he is. But UberNick, thanks for coming on.
Hello.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great because I'm here with you, obviously.
Oh, too kind.
I feel like
Too kind.
I feel like I've evolved from a chat degen to like on the show because I just like troll you with your chat redeems. So I'm happy to be here. So if you're watching right now, mess it up unless he turns it off during the segment.
They're all turned off for Nade at Night.
Damn it.
Sorry. Yeah.
I want to be like what's the RTX off? Like I want to experience that.
One day. One day.
I'll fly to your setup and we can do it.
Please go for it. Well, I always thought about that. I think I mentioned that to you once. Like, I think you ever seen the show Wife Swap?
Yes. Oh my god, stream swap.
Something like that, but like stream swaps. So you just like fly to each other's place for a week.
Dude, you get here and be like, damn, Nick has it so easy. And I'd be having a mental breakdown. Like, stop redeeming for 1 second, please. I can't handle this. It would drive me nuts.
Yeah, there's 2 Stream Deck XLs for you. Like, that's because like I have a whole process in my head for everything. So you staring at the button names would be like,
dude, I use 3 buttons for my entire stream, and I forget to use them the entire time. So I have 3 buttons and I forget to use them. You have 2 Stream Decks of like you have like an entire like 4 billion monitors, 18 keyboards, like boom, 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 switching scenes, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot to switch my scene once the entire stream. Sorry guys.
Sorry, I was talking during the gameplay scene. I'll try to be better next time.
Oh, you know, it is what it is. We just have 2 different productions running on. Yeah.
I get mad sometimes when I look at one particular scene and I'm like, I haven't used that one in a while.
That's what my old graphics. So I change up my graphics every like 6 months to a year. My old graphics, I got pixel flare to make a bunch of scenes, and I literally never used them at all ever. And I was like, dude, I don't even need them this time. Make like 3 scenes and we're good to go. To cut his work in like a quarter.
Yep.
But I wasted so much of his time the last time.
That does hurt.
Oh well, you live and learn.
You live and learn. Trial and error. That's how it goes with content creation. Try to figure out what works. Okay.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to have you on. I was like waiting to figure out like the best time to bring you on. I think now probably works absolutely best. First and foremost, because you've been on the internet for a while, and obviously, you know, you're accumulating people who have just met you, or you have people who have been with you for the entire journey. But I think even people who have known you for a while probably all want to know a good general amount of these questions, because you just never really know who knows what, and etc. So first and foremost, who is UberNick? How did you come up with the name, and when? And then, did you ever use any other names or aliases before that?
So UberNick, I created that name about 13 years ago, in about 2009. That's when I started like actually being like, okay, I want to do YouTube serious, because you know, you'd watch YouTube for a long time. Call of Duty montages was my jam, and then I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a Call of Duty montager. So got on YouTube. I'll go over my other names at the end of this, but UberNick, I don't know. Whenever I started YouTube, I was going by Super Nick. Wasn't really sitting with me right. Super Nick just didn't feel cool. And then I was like, I like the idea of having Nick in my name. Let me upgrade the word super. So I did a bit of research, came across the word Uber, said it a few times, and I was like, yeah, sounds good. And 12 years later, I still think UberNick sounds dope. And I think it looks really cool, like written down as well. I think it's really important. Your name has to look cool when written down.
Absolutely.
You know, if it doesn't look cool, if it doesn't necessarily make sense when written down, I don't think it's a good name. So UberNick, NadeGod, solid names. They work, you know, in every regard. So that's where UberNick came from. I just wanted my name, and then I just wanted like something that meant awesome or cool or powerful or something at the beginning of it. So Uber is where I landed, basically. Names that I went by before. I had quite a lot of gamer tags before UberNick. A lot of them pretty embarrassing, which I will divulge right now. So my first gamer tag, Jinja Ninja 556. But ninja was spelt with a G instead of a J, so it's a little bit. But that was my idiotic mistake. That wasn't like me trying to be like special or anything.
Yeah.
I just misspelled the word ninja.
Okay.
and then in 2008, I think me and my buddies made a clan called Bloodstained Shield. So BSS. So I became BSS Ninja for like 2 months.
Okay.
And then we disbanded that. And then I went back to Jinja Ninja 556. Same gamer tag, same everything.
Or the, do you know what the numbers are for?
Sorry?
Did the numbers mean anything?
Oh, yeah, so the numbers, so my PC login at school at the time, it would be like my name and then numbers at the end, and the numbers were 556. So
Makes sense.
that's where the numbers came from.
Yep.
So then I logged on to Xbox one day, and I had this message pop up that I had never seen before, and Microsoft had basically like disabled my account because someone had reported my name. The G in Ninja, someone thought was meant to be like racially charged, which it wasn't. It was just me being an idiotic, like 12, 13-year-old, whatever.
How do you spell this word?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like Googling it or whatever at the time, or asking my mother, I just went, yeah, this works.
Oh my
So
God.
then I was like, all right, well, new gamer tag, like fresh start, let's go. Landed on Cosmic Fusion. Cosmic spelled with a K, by the way.
Oh, on both ends or just the front?
I think just the front.
Okay.
Yeah. So then
It's good timing on that.
I think that maybe lasted like, that was maybe 2009 or something. Maybe like end of 2008, start of 2009, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So then I got bored of that, as you do. And then I remember Black Ops 1 came out, and I was all about Black Ops 1. Loved that game. So I was like, all right, I gotta have a super try-hard montager name, because that's what I was getting into at the time. X Repulse.
Oh. Ooh.
It was XR3PU1SE, and there is a YouTube channel called exactly that. So if you type in youtube.com/user/XRepulse, you'll find some of my original commentaries and gameplays. Fun fact. So X Repulse, that lasted no time at all, because then I never made my gamer tag Super Nick. So I was Super Nick on YouTube, but my gamer tag was X Repulse. And then I switched to UberNick, and then I switched to my gamer tag to UberNick as well. So X Repulse then evolved into UberNick in about 2010, something like that. It's 2010, 2011, something like that. So yeah.
God damn.
And here I am.
Here's...
I've had a bunch of YouTube channels as well. They've never really matched. Well,
I do know that.
Yeah. I've had a lot of YouTube channels. I've had UberNick TV, which has been kind of reinstated with my Clips channel, which is kind of like, it's a cool nod. Whenever I was like thinking the Clip channel, it was UberNick Clips, and then I was like, wait, UberNick TV, make it like, throw it back to the original, you know, make it kind of cool. So
perfectly ties
UberNick
in with
TV.
Twitch.tv as well, because majority of the clips come from Twitch. So
yeah, exactly. So it works in both ways.
Yeah.
I had UberNick, Mr. UberNick, which is a Skyrim channel. I had X UberNick. I had a ton of channels. So
just keep doing what you can until it all works.
That's who I am. That's how I got to where I'm at right now.
Perfect. I'm actually curious. When did it feels like Uber is one of those companies where you feel like they obviously have only been around for so long a time. But
yeah, so Uber really kind of kicked off in like 2011, 2012. So I think they were, I want to say Canadian, but I'm not sure. But they were like based in one city or one area, and then obviously expanded. I'd never heard of them when I made my name.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't change my name, but I always thought if I was to change my name, what would it be? Ultra Nick. Something about that just sits right with me. Ultra Pokeball is badass. So I'm like, I don't know. If I had to change, maybe Ultra Nick, I like that, but UberNick just, you know.
It just when you say it enough, it just kind of becomes like commonplace in your brain, where it's just like, yeah, super slick, super easy off the tongue. That is definitely very important for like a name, especially if you can have it stick and be solid at the beginning. Over time, it just becomes super brandable, and super easy when you write it down. It's just like, that looks good.
Exactly.
Like, if at any point, if anything were to happen where I had to like do that a bunch of times, easy peasy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Exactly.
Cool. So with that, I know you mentioned like 2009, but how long have you been on Twitch or YouTube or just like the internet in general and having like an online presence? And I guess for the most part, like putting content out there? When did you start doing that, if you can remember?
So my first ever YouTube video was 2009 because I remember I was making Windows Movie Maker like top 10s. They were basically slideshows, but I was using Windows Movie Maker to create like top 10 games, top 10 whatever. They were horrible videos. You think of the transitions in Windows Movie Maker, it was as generic as it gets.
Fully aware.
Then I wanted to start doing gameplay stuff. I didn't have a laptop. I had a PC, like the family PC, but it was beyond terrible. Like it was so bad. So
typically,
I was like, okay, I want to make some gameplay stuff, but I didn't have a capture card, didn't have any of that stuff. So I managed to get Bungie Pro, if you remember that. Bungie Pro let you download files from your file share onto your PC. So, but it was only like, it was like limited clips every month. So for whatever reason, I don't know why they did it like that, but I got Bungie Pro, downloaded some horrible clips on hindsight, but you know, back then they were like my peak. And I put together a Halo 3 like 5 or 6 clip montage to Eminem and Rihanna, Love the Way You Lie. Absolute banger, by the way. So that was my first, like, it's not on YouTube. I don't know if I actually uploaded it to YouTube because my internet connection was so bad. I don't think I could upload it because my internet was going to take way too long. Like, it was that awful. But that's the first video that I made, like gameplay wise. And then in 2010, that's when I like kind of put the plan in place to be like, all right, YouTube is what I want to actually do. Like I think it's so fun, the idea of it. So, I remember I set out like a little like long-term plan to make it happen by the end of the year. Yep. So first step, internet, it was terrible. I was like, Mom and Dad, we got to upgrade the internet. I'm so curious
as to like what you were paying for at that point, because you know, like
I don't even know. Like, I don't think it really changed at all in the last 10 years until we recently just upgraded it once again.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I don't think it was like crazy, but definitely was a bit of a ripoff, you know, in recent times. But let's see. So I think it was like August, September. I was like, all right, Mom, we got to upgrade this internet. It's useless. I got to upload videos and I can't. So she looked it up, found that we could upgrade for like, you know, even cheaper, I think, of what we were paying for our current terrible internet. Upgraded the internet, boom, bam. I remember the day, sat at my PC, and I did a test upload. Zing, uploaded immediately, and I'm like,
such a good
feeling. This would have taken me a day to upload that, and now I went whoosh, like instantly uploaded because it was fiber. Never had fiber before. Then I was like, all right, don't have a laptop or a capture card. What do I do? So then for my birthday in November, I got a laptop. I wanted a laptop. I was like, please, that's all I want for my birthday. Please just get me a laptop. Obviously, it's a big gift, so I was like, please just let me have this.
Of course.
So luckily, got a laptop, was
Clutch.
Stoked. You know, not only did
parents.
I get to move away from the family PC, but I had my own laptop where I could, you know, play games, watch YouTube, all that in my own space, which was awesome. Then December, Christmas time, got an HD PVR. And then Christmas Day, that's when the floodgate opened. That's when all hell broke loose because I could finally record my own gameplay. So if you go to UberNick TV, my first channel, I don't think my first ever recorded video with a PVR was Assassin's Creed HD gameplay. I did a test recording, so Assassin's Creed. Don't think the video's on the channel, but that's my first video. But you'll find like Black Ops 1 commentaries, random gameplays of random games, how to set up a GameCube with an HD PVR. Like those are some of my earliest videos from over a decade ago now, which is wild. So 2011's when things really like, that's when I started really getting into it because, you know, I finally got a microphone and started recording my voice. But 2011 is like when I first properly started uploading content to YouTube. And then I did my first ever Twitch stream in 2014. Sorry.
You're good.
The first stream I did was very successful, actually. You know, most people stream for the first time, get one viewer if they're lucky, and they're like, "That was awesome." I had like 600 viewers. I had 600 viewers in my first ever Twitch stream.
What?
Because I was big brain way back in the day, dude.
Okay.
So EA had just released their like little pass where you could get games, like, you know, and just play them.
Okay.
So what they did, I was a big Dragon Age fan. Dragon Age Dragon Age Inquisition was coming out, they had, I think it was a 60-minute like play period early that you could download and play. 2014, dude. If I had my brain back then, I would be.
Oh my god.
I'd be a billionaire. You know, I would be so rich.
Yep.
Because you know exactly what to do in this kind of situation. That's what sucks. I was the only person, I guess, in the world that thought, huh, I can play Dragon Age Inquisition early. Oh, I can also live stream it on Twitch. Nobody was doing that. Nobody thought about that. I was the only person streaming this like 60-minute like segment of Dragon Age Inquisition. I had BioWare developers, I had Dragon Age fans, I had everyone in this stream on Twitch because I was the only person. My quality was dreadful. My webcam kept cutting off. My, you know, every new streamer issue you could possibly have, I was suffering during this massive debut. You know, the perfect beginning for any streamer, and I messed it up horrendously. So that was cool. You know, I had BioWare developers like watching the stream as I was playing Dragon Age Inquisition. That was pretty awesome. And then I tried to get more streaming after that. I kept having tech issues, and I was like, screw this. And then I left it until 2016, I think.
Wow. I'm still trying to process that. Jesus. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I know of people who have like a slew of tech issues, and it is incredibly demotivating, especially if you don't know like how to fix it.
Yeah,
especially
even in 2016, I remember like the early days. I don't know if Skillsy might be here watching. He knows, he was there way back in the day. I remember I was playing Outlast, and my stream would keep cutting off for some reason. I think it's because my Elgato wasn't set to the same frame rate as my camera, or my camera wasn't set to the same frame rate, so it would cut my stream off, my OBS would crash. Eventually worked that out, and yeah, it was pretty much smooth sailing after that, but I had real bad like growing pains with streaming.
Yeah, it's difficult. It sucks, especially when you have those, because then your entire stream and image like gets associated with that, and it becomes like an expectation, and it sucks to have that because you don't want to like have that expectation of yourself be associated with something so negative and so like exhausting. Of like, oh,
big time.
You know, something happened.
We're gonna watch UberNick, but we have to deal with the stream crashing.
When is something gonna happen where like my enjoyment is gonna be interrupted, especially when it's happening at like a really good moment, like especially with Outlast, like has a great moments. Like any like perfect scare, if something cuts out, it's so incredibly frustrating. Yeah,
big time.
But that's what's so frustrating, or maybe not like frustrating, but like interesting about streaming and content creation is that when it comes to like, you know, movie sets, it's obviously a much more expanded thing, but they have a role and a person for some of the most minute things of like someone to literally just put tape on the floor. Here, you're gonna get paid to do this. And so with this, it's like you have to do everything. And when it comes to fixing everything, especially in the early days when people who made YouTube videos and tutorials on like how to fix these things, and that entire ecosystem wasn't as expanded as it is today, you had to fix everything on your own.
Dude, when I think back to how I even worked out how to like get Sony Vegas, you know, I acquired Sony Vegas back in the day, like over a decade ago. But like over a decade ago, dude, everyone wanted to steal your credit card. Everyone was wanting to like hack your PC.
Yeah.
Like it was a danger. I avoided all that somehow. I dodged every terrible like
it's a miracle we did.
I don't know how I did it, but somehow I did, and I was able to like, you know, get editing software and teach myself. Like I don't think I've ever once watched a tutorial on Sony Vegas. Like everything I know about that program, I just self-learned, you know, because I just
click buttons and you're like, oh.
I just dove in and, you know, had to go at it. But yeah, dude, it was like the Wild West back then. Oh, yeah. You know, trying to figure out like, what is YouTube? What are we doing here? Where's it going to go? So.
And I think one of the interesting things about that is when you think about like, you know, if I was just a random individual and I said, oh, how long have you been like streaming on Twitch or doing this? And if you said like, oh, just like 4 or 5 years, you know, that's a light answer on that. But like now we know you've been doing this for so much longer, and you've had so many stages and so many parts of yourself and transitions and changes to get to where you are now.
I always think about that. You know, like I've been thinking a lot recently for whatever reason. I was like 15, 16 when I started getting into all this. I'm like a totally different person now to what I was back then.
Absolutely.
My outlook on things, my content, how I present myself. my voice is different, my appearance is different. Like I'm a different person completely to when I first started, and it's just so. That's why I love YouTube. It's like a time capsule. You know, you look back on an old video and you'd be like, wow, that's what I looked like way back then.
Especially that is one of the pros of social media and the ability to document things is to look back on it. Because I mean, I think our parents and our grandparents, all they really have is old photographs.
Photos.
Exactly, old photos and really not any sort of like video capture, and so they just kind of have to like think and remember it. It's like thinking about how you looked with a certain hairstyle, and you're like, oh yeah, that looked good, and you see a picture of it, and you're like, oh my god, I thought that looked good, and then now I'm looking now, it's like that's awful. How did I look in the mirror and think that was good? But yeah, it's painful at times, but it is a good reminder to see how far you have come, and hopefully in the light and the hope that you have improved since then, and kind of feel proud of that. Yeah. But so with all that time, with all those changes and transitions, etc., was there ever like an aha moment or a big moment where like everything kind of blew up or everything changed? Or like what was like the catalyst, if there were any?
I actually have a great answer for this.
Good.
Because I literally do have like an aha moment where I'm like, oh, it's finally clicked after all this time. So I spent 2010 till 2016 trying to make stuff work. You know, I did Call of Duty, Minecraft, Halo, Skyrim. I did every game, GTA. I did every game under the sun. Nothing worked. Didn't get any traction. I always had like maybe 200 subs on YouTube. I was just not going anywhere. It wasn't working. Then 2014, my buddies convinced me to get back on Halo 4 to create some content because they were like sick of COD and they were just playing Halo 4 and having fun, making YouTube videos.
Imagine.
And I was like, screw it. Like I'm sick of COD content. I don't enjoy it because I think Call of Duty Ghosts or something had just come out. I can't remember what COD, but I think Ghosts or something had just come out.
I think it was Black Ops 2 in 2012. I think Ghost was 2013 because it was coming out with the Xbox One.
Yes.
And then 2014, I think that was Advanced Warfare?
Yeah. So Ghost had just come out then. Yeah, it was because I created my Halo channel like January 2nd, 2014. So Ghost had just come out. Hated the game. I despised that game. And I was like, I'm done with COD. I hate this. So I started with Halo and I was like, all right, well, time to go back to my roots. And I didn't mind Halo 4. So I hopped back on my buddies. First few weeks, a little bit rough. They were so much better than me. They were dropping like 50, 60, 70 kills in BTB. I was getting like 18, 20. They were so much better. But it like sparked this little drive because I was never that good at Halo. I was just painfully average. But seeing them have this like competition to be like, who can get the best gameplay? Like I remember my one buddy, he's like the one who basically got me to make Halo content. He's called Modest Major. Doesn't make Halo videos anymore, but he was like, I remember he was like, if you get more than 5 deaths in a gameplay, unusable, scrap it. Like his standards for gameplays were so high, and I was like, all right, like I gotta get to this level. You go back in my channel, the early days, I have like 80 plus kill gameplays with like 3 deaths. Like these nuts Halo 4 gameplays where I would
bulldoze.
Dude, I would bulldoze these little idiots in Halo 4 BTV. And I would upload these gameplays, and yeah, like I started this drive not only to, I don't know, have a reason to do YouTube because I'd be like, all right, I want to upload these dope Halo like gameplays, but also to get better at Halo. So Halo 4 was where I became really good at Halo, and then kept doing that. Had a lot of fun with it. You know, I had like a core group of friends who I was making videos with and alongside, which I never had before, really. So I was like, awesome. That is a lie. I did have a Minecraft channel in 2012 called Pineapple Station. That got to 10k subs, but we kind of like drifted apart and stopped uploading videos. But I could have been a big Minecrafter back in the day, but we just got lazy. Anyway,
happens to the best of us.
Halo MCC dropped, was making some MCC content, but obviously it was a bit of a flopper, unfortunately. So I was like fully focused Halo 5. That's when, you know, I was going to really drive at it and go try to make the big time. Halo 5 drops. I have 500 subs on my channel at the time. Feeling real good about that. I met Proximity. Became great friends with him. We'd be Skyping like every day. We're both in work being like, man, I hate our job. Just want to do this full time. Let's just grind it out. Like we became like, he was like my homie. He was my boy back in the day.
That's good.
Still is. I just don't talk to him as much, but always have a lot of love for Proximity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would just talk every day. And then he started blowing up. He started doing his like proximity tips and tricks. His channel started popping off. And I remember I was never jealous, but I was like, damn, what am I doing wrong? You know,
Yeah.
what am I missing out? You know, you have this new game you've new Halo 5, you know, it's like perfect for content. Warzone, Rex, like it was prime season for content. My channel was not going anywhere. I think by December I think I hit 1,000 subs in December. So I did double my channel when Halo 5 came out, but it should have been a lot more than that.
Definitely always feel like it could be.
Yeah, and I think February 2016, I was like, dude, my channel is not going anywhere. Like all my friends, like Proximity's blowing up. I think he had like 5 or 6K subs then. He was killing it. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like I can't figure out what I should do. And I was like, I'm 6 years deep into doing YouTube and it's not worked. Like, am I just not cut out for this? And
That's
then
a lot of time.
I remember I went into work and I kind of thought, because it was an office job. No, it wasn't an office job. I was working as a climbing instructor at the time. No, sorry. I literally just started at my office job then. I remember sitting there thinking like, screw that, dude. I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm not going to give up. So then something flipped in my brain, dude. I started uploading every 2 days. Completely changed up my thumbnail style. My video quality skyrocketed for some reason just overnight. I just like, something changed in my brain. Instant change, because I set goals. I never had that. I set goals for myself. My first goal was to get on this YouTube like partner, like a MCN thing.
Nope.
I can't remember what their name is, but it was some like YouTube partner thing.
Okay.
But you needed a set amount of views every month to get on them. So I was like, all right, gotta get these views, gotta get on this. First month, I achieved it. Applied, got partnered with them. I was like, dope. Next goal, certain amount of subs. Blew through that. Next goal, next goal, next goal. You know, I kept making these like miniature little goals that I was just so set on hitting, and I was just kind of blowing through them. And then it got to, I think I had like 5K subs by like August of 2016. And me and my girlfriend had just broke up, and like the August before that, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Been there.
Like, we broke up. I was super happy. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. You know, she wasn't supportive of YouTube or anything like that. I just started like live streaming on Twitch. You know, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. It made me genuinely very happy.
Yeah.
I also just lost my job as well. They just didn't have work for me, so they let me go, and they gave me 2 months of severance pay. I've told this story a few times before, but I just love this story. It's like it is the pinnacle switch in my life where everything changed.
Yeah.
So August, lost my girlfriend, lost my job. Feeling good though, because it's, you know, I can now kind of go in the direction that I want to. And I said to my parents, listen, give me 2 months. Let me see if I can make something work with this YouTube thing. If not, I'm going to quit it all and I'll just, you know, move on with my life and I'll just treat gaming as a hobby. October comes, nearly the end of my 2 months. I'm like, my channel's growing a little bit more than it ever has, but nothing significant. I upload Call of Duty Steals from Halo. Boom! A nuke goes off.
Jesus.
Everything erupts. The end of that 2 month period. Boom! It erupted. My channel absolutely nuked out of nowhere overnight. Literally overnight. That one video changed my life. By the end of the year, I hit 10K subs, and I'm like, listen, I'm not making that much money, but this is like the fire that I need to keep going. Then January 2017, Noble Team Series begins. Boom! Even bigger explosion. By March, I think I hit 30K subs.
Jesus.
I was doing challenge video left and right, rec challenges left and right. Boom, 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 boom. 50K subs. My Twitch was like doing great.
Yeah?
Everything changed in that one decision to upload that video. And then the challenge videos in Warzone just absolutely... It was like I started a fire and then I put like a massive tree on top of it with those videos. And then it all just lit up. And then I just kept the growth going. Really started taking Twitch serious in 2017. And that's when it started to do really well. Like, not really well, but better than it had been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just kept going. Just was grinding out Twitch, grinding out YouTube. And like the thing about, like, I don't know, if I'm ever going to pat myself on the back the most, there's not that many people that do YouTube and Twitch in the Halo scene, like super consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people either do Twitch or most people either do YouTube.
It's very hard to
balance.
balance.
Many people balance both. I was doing both full time. Like as much as everyone else, but I was doing both together.
Yep.
Like I'd give up seeing my friends, I'd give up doing whatever. Like I would absolutely sacrifice so much in 2017 just to grind this out. By 2018, I had fully cemented myself as like a major player in the Halo scene. Grinded out 2018, grinded out 2019. And then yeah, from 2020, that's when like I started making actual like decent money, I guess. You know, before that, I was just kind of getting by. 2020 is when I was like, oh, I'm actually like making somewhat of a livable salary as a content creator.
Where it wasn't like 2020, paycheck to paycheck.
No, yeah. So then I was actually able to save some money for the first time in my life.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
It's crazy hard as a content creator.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it just, I don't know. I love that story because I'm like, I remember so vividly how much I wanted it, and I was so happy. I logged into YouTube and I saw that big line of views, and I'm like, I just got chills. Like I can't even describe the feeling I had. Like I just remember thinking like, holy shit. Like the one thing I hoped so much with this video, because it was such a weird video for me to make as well. I literally thought, whatever, I'll make something different and see what happens, and it worked. And I was like, I literally can't believe this actually worked out for me. It was so fortunate. So I think that is my second or something most viewed video now. My Noble Team Warzone challenge is like 500k, so that's my #1 video on YouTube. You can tell I love telling that story.
No, I don't blame you. Fuck, I would too. It's a good story because I mean it's definitely inspiring to. I can't even imagine how many people who are probably trying to do the exact same thing. And no, I totally agree. Like you'll never truly know what video, what post, or whatever content you create will give you that success. And there are a lot that you will doubt, and you'll be like, whatever. It's just another one. Like it'll probably do the same as the last. But again, the thing that holds back so many people is the hesitation and the overthought of it, of like, no, that would be good. Or no one's gonna like that. No one's gonna watch it. And again, like you put that out there and you're like, okay, maybe this will work. And it did. And you had no expectation.
I think it took 3 days for it to catch any traction. You know, the first day it did better, like a little bit than my average video, but it was still like back then my average video wasn't that much. And then on the third day it like just took off, and then it kept taking off, and I was like, damn, like this is crazy. Then I was like, I remember I was like, overdrive time, baby. Let's go. And I was pumping out videos like an absolute maniac. It was crazy.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean it's definitely inspiring because I think again a lot of people unfortunately have the expectation of creating YouTube or Twitch content, and they want that overnight success, but a lot of them I don't think realize how much time it truly takes. And for you, like it did take 6 years.
It took me a long time to get any kind of success.
Exactly. And you were at the end where if this wasn't gonna work, like I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to doing whatever. And I've heard a lot of those stories from people who, again, like they give them that deadline. They're like, if this isn't gonna work, I'm gonna go back to this job. I'm gonna go, just kind of get by with it because it's safe, it's secure. At any moment, like for the past few years, it could have toppled, but still working, still compounding it all, multiplying, etc. But yeah, it's all incredibly inspiring to who knows how many people.
The grind. People don't realize fully how much of a grind doing content is. Like how much you have to sacrifice. That's the big thing. You don't realize what you have. My sleep schedule has been non-existent for the past 5 years.
Sacrifices are a big one. I definitely when you were mentioning that, I was I a lot of things in my mind popped up, and it's
like I'm really lucky that I have a really great friend group that understand.
And
the amount of times that I've slept in, like we've agreed to hang out and I've slept in and I missed hanging out, and they haven't been angry. They've just been like, typical Nick, probably up late making a video. Like I'm so fortunate to have like that in my life, my parents as well. My parents are like amazing. They'll see me at 8 a.m. Like back in the day, I'd be up to like 6 a.m. My mom would be like, get in bed. No. Now my mom will like wake up, it's like 8:30 and she'll be like, long night. And I'm like,
just another one.
They just get it,
It is fortunate. That is good that you have a support group who understand, because unfortunately, some people don't.
Most people don't. Dude, I guarantee there's a lot of people out there that would be amazing streamers and content creators, but they don't have the support structure they need to actually give it the proper go they need. Unfortunately,
it is incredibly unfortunate. Again, yeah, who are, you can talk about them being held back by themselves and the hesitation, but again, a lot of the time it can be the people that are around them saying, no, that's stupid, that's silly. When I changed my name to NadeGod, the friends that I was hanging out with at the time, they legit were like, that's so stupid. Like, that's the dumbest name I've heard. That's not gonna work. But I was like, no, like, I think it's cool. I think it's good. And I stuck with it and it worked out. So, I mean,
NadeGod.
Sometimes, yeah, you literally just have to shut out the people that you trust and that are closest to you because, if you truly believe in it, and unfortunately, if you're found in a state or, a point of time where they don't support it, you just kind of have to cover your ears and hope for the best that you are the one that's correct in that situation.
Surrounding yourself with people, like-minded people is the most important thing. So, I put that a lot down to forming my friendship with Taquin, Fletch, you in more recent times. I say recent, the last couple of years, but I've known those guys since 2016.
Oh yeah.
Surrounding yourself with people like those two that I mentioned, we'll be totally honest. I'll tell Jack, I don't think this kind of content is what you should be making right now, and we'll discuss that. Whereas you'll have those friends be like, yeah, do whatever you want, I don't care. They don't care. That's the problem.
It's I don't know any better. I'm like, why are you asking me? But yeah, if you both have that experience, it's very good to direct each other because at any time especially when you're making something new, even if they seem confident in it, they may not know, but it's always good to have a second or a third or even a fourth input. But yeah, it is good to have a friend group you can be honest with and
big time.
Have that conversation, especially without hurting each other's feelings. It's all constructive.
What's the thing? Doing content as well, you have to be able to take the criticism.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I've had people, my friends tell me stuff about my YouTube content, editing could be better, blah, 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 could be better. But yeah. I'm 100%. So I brought Elsie on board for that while and it was great.
That was huge.
I also need a new editor now, but for that period of time, it was great.
Yeah. And that's good. I mean, it's always evolving, always looking to improve it. And I think that's every content creator should be striving for that instead of finding something that they're comfortable with and just saying, okay, let's just keep doing this over and over and over again. It's easy to do that. It's very easy to fall into a space that you're comfortable with.
It's very easy to just keep hitting the nail with the same hammer instead of switching up the tool that you're using,
Just keep printing out the same thing over and over again. But yeah, that's what it's all about. But yeah, no, you sacrifice a lot, unfortunately. There are plenty of moments where I was sitting there editing a video or doing something and my roommate's coming to be like, hey, we're going to go to the bar. We're going to go to the restaurant. You want to come with? And I'm like, I'd love to. Or someone to say, hey, let's go play COD. Or let's go do this. Let's go have some fun. But I'm like, I can't because I know that if I do, something, isn't going to get done and it's going to suck. Or you sacrifice sleep for yourself.
Yeah.
And, exactly. It's not always the most healthy thing, but, from time to time you will. And whether or not, it rewards you is time will tell, but. Lordy. Okay, so through all the time that you've had to be in this space and in YouTube and all these other social medias, through all the creators and the content that you've consumed, which is a lot, you had the ability to do so. Who inspires you the most or who has inspired you the most, if anyone?
I think I have two answers for this.
Okay.
So, FaZe Jev, if you've watched my content, especially more so back in the day, you can definitely see a lot of similarities, I guess. The way I cut up my videos is a bit Jevy. My rage stuff, I don't do rage stuff at all anymore because I just don't want to be that guy. Yeah. But FaZe Jev was definitely a huge inspiration. I thought I want to be the FaZe Jev of Halo. I think he's hilarious. I love how he interacts with his community. He sits down, has a real casual demeanor. I feel like I actually need to work on that a little bit. I feel like I'm too YouTubey. Hey, what's up, guys? Nick here. Blah blah blah. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to move away from that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. And you're like, I'm watching an act instead of you're watching Nick. I'd rather start my video be like, yo, what's up, and then we just get into it.
Yeah.
So
casual.
But it's the hey, what's up, guys is so drilled into my brain. I'm like, if I don't do that, people are gonna be freaked out.
Very hard to get away from it. Yeah.
So that's what my goal for this year is, to kind of be a bit more chill with my demeanor in my videos.
Yeah.
And then PewDiePie actually is a really huge I watched PD for a long time.
Yep.
Just before he started blowing up, I was watching his stuff. So I've kind of like watched his entire journey, and I just have a huge respect for his work ethic and also just how he is in his videos. You know, I like that he is very just him and his content. I don't really watch that much PewDiePie now. I really don't at all, really.
Same.
But he'll forever be someone that I respected a lot, you know, in the early days of me trying to make YouTube work. So those two definitely.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Yeah, I think I started watching him. Like, I always knew of him, and I had friends, especially in the early days, where they're like, okay, I'm gonna go watch a PewDiePie, like latest like PewDiePie video, and I'm like, oh, okay. But like, you know, back in those days of when he was kind of very animated, etc., it was very not super appealing, especially if you were at a certain age. But you know, I think he definitely grew with his audience, and his, you know, when he was able to recognize that and know that his audience wasn't, you know, they grew up. You know, you can't keep doing that all the time. You have to mature with them and realize that they're not always going to be able to consume that persona anymore, and you have to, you know, mature with it and just have a conversation with them. And
I think that's the problem with Minecraft content creators.
You
see a lot of these Minecraft guys totally falling off.
Yeah.
They don't grow up with their videos or content, but their audience does.
Yeah.
I can't remember what channel it was, but I looked at a Minecraft YouTuber. Their channel was completely dead, and one of the comments was like, wow, I remember watching this person when I was a kid. Obviously, that person was grown up, and they were like reminiscing, but that creator was not. They hadn't grown up with their content at all. So
I think they just kind of I think they have that expectation of like their audience will grow up and move on, and there'll be always like a group to replace it. But there usually isn't all the time. But I think PewDiePie definitely grew up and eventually got to the point where it's like you were sitting on the other side of the desk just talking with him for the most part. And I think creators that are able to do that will for sure be, you know, they might go up and down, etc. But even like seeing like Markiplier come back and Jacksepticeye, and they mature with their audience, etc. And it works out. But that's good. Okay, so through all this time, if Twitch or YouTube or both wouldn't have ever worked out for you, or the entire just general aspect of entertaining people, if, you know, back in those Halo 5 days, if your friends kept popping off and if you were like, this isn't working, and maybe it didn't work. Maybe you uploaded that COD versus Halo video or COD steals from Halo and it just flopped and you were like, okay, that's it. What would you have tried for next, if anything?
That's a scary question.
It is.
Because I don't know. My problem growing up, I never knew what I wanted to do. And then I found YouTube and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yep.
But like real world jobs, I never had an idea, you know? At one point I was like, maybe I want to be a police officer. And I was like, I don't want to be a police officer. You know, imagine me being like, coming up to you trying to arrest you. Imagine that. Like, I'm tall, but that's about all I got going. I'd like start laughing in the middle of it, like reading your rights, and I start giggling or something.
You'd have to have that entire like life of you just beating out of you, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I always thought maybe working with computers, I guess, in some way. You know, building computers is fun, but also I get kind of annoyed by it. So would I enjoy that? Not really. Like, computer programming has zero interest in that. Maybe, I don't know, I guess like video editing or something like that. You know, maybe I'd delve more into video editing and become a lot more knowledgeable in that in some way. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't actually have an answer, which is kind of scary because I really don't know what I would do.
It is definitely a scary answer, especially for just a question in general where, you know, when you want to get into that sort of thing, sometimes people do kind of reality check you, and it's like, if this doesn't work out, what are you going to do? And you're like, I don't know. So while it can be good to have a plan B, it's also kind of scary because it's like you're staring at that plan B, you're like, please God, like don't make me go to that plan B because I don't want anything besides what this plan A is.
What's really scary for me, I think, and like, knock on wood, no guarantees ever with content creation.
Never.
I think I've
never
started building my way to a place where I think I'll be good, no matter what.
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay. You never know. You really don't ever know. But I feel like I just have a feeling I'll be okay. But I really don't know if I would be able to go back to like regular life, because I've been in this like bubble of content, doing my own thing, being my own boss for so long You know, the idea of waking up at like 7 or 8 a.m. to go to a 9 to 5 job, like that's like hell to
It's
me.
haunting.
Like that is,
Yeah.
it's literally like terrifying for me
Yeah.
to think about, because I did that for 2 years, and I hated every second of it. So I don't know. I think I'd never not want like some kind of fun job in some regard. You know,
Yeah.
maybe like a community manager, game community, something along those lines.
Yeah.
You know.
Something in an ecosystem, in an area that you're familiar with and that you can at least enjoy to some degree.
And I think the cool thing now that gives me a bit of like ease of mind or peace of mind is I've given myself a lot of experience doing all of this. You know, I have a lot of experience in an area that is getting bigger and bigger every day.
Absolutely.
So I think no matter what, there will always be some kind of opportunity out there for me.
Yeah. As long as you, again, like even for you or anyone else of, you know, in your state, or who is eventually, you know, kind of in your similar state over time, as long as you're kind of always on your toes and always just like aware and watching and like seeing how the landscape shifts, and you're ready for it and you're able to adapt, etc. Yeah. But unfortunately for, you know, there are those, and it's always kind of heartbreaking to watch, even if you don't know a creator, but you kind of see them fall off. It is heartbreaking to watch that, because you kind of imagine and put yourself in that position and like how that would make you feel. And
well, yeah. The peaks and valleys of being a content creator is a real thing.
Absolutely.
You know, my YouTube right now is in a valley. You know, it's performing the worst it's done for a long time, and it sucks. But you have to remind yourself, like, it's only a temporary thing, and the fix is me.
Yep.
You know, it'll remain a problem as long as I let it be.
Yep.
So you just got to work through it. And the problem is, sometimes people can go through one of those like valleys and be like, oh, this is it, and they give up, or they don't try. They don't try and evolve their content the way they should.
Yep.
It's just how creators can totally fall off. But the thing is, you come out of those peaks or valleys, and you peak, you go farther than you ever have before.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You show resilience, because you have to be fluid with your content. You have to be like, look at the landscape and be like, all right, what's working? How can I put my spin on this?
Yep.
So
it's like someone's giving you like a Rubik's cube, and then you solve it and you're like, perfect, like that's amazing, and then like, okay, here's a slightly harder one, or like we mix it up again in a way that you don't know of, and you're like constantly learning it over and over again. And you know, if it gets too hard and you're like, I can't, and you give up, then yeah, but you know, if you work hard enough at it and if you're smart enough about it, then you can definitely solve it again.
If you've surrounded yourself with that core grip, you can help work it out together.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. It's difficult on your own, and it's not, you know, I'm gonna say it's definitely gonna be easier with people around you, but it can help for sure, even if they're not, you know, helping you directly. But
I would argue doing this like content stuff successfully totally by yourself is near impossible.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've had days where I've been laying in bed. You know, I've had a video perform great. My stream is doing amazing. I'll wake up the next morning and I'll feel depressed beyond belief for no reason. You know, you can't even describe why you feel sad.
Yep.
Because everything else is going great. You know, like it's just one of those things. Whereas if you have those people you can message and be like, I don't know why, I feel like I'm just like not happy with what I'm doing. You just have a talk with them and you get through it.
Sure. It works out because, I mean, you know, they're gonna understand it better than
exactly. They'll totally be able to relate and, you know, talk to you about how they felt when they were in the exact same situation.
Yeah, you get through it.
Damn, that's deep.
Okay, let's say a multiverse is real. The UberNick that found success elsewhere besides Halo and went for it. They were still successful, but it wasn't in Halo. Halo just magically just couldn't work for him, but they tried something else and they were like, holy shit, and they went for it. What game was it and why? Or it could be, it's either you can think logically on this and think like this is why, or you could say a game that you wished it would be, or like you think it would be. Like if not Halo, what else?
It would be...
Or it'd be your decision.
It would be Bethesda games. So like Fallout, Elder Scrolls. I remember there was a period where I was seriously thinking like I want to do mod showcases in Skyrim, and like I want to. That's my thing that I'm gonna do. I never bothered because installing mods was way too annoying. But
Yep.
I think the idea of making like Skyrim playthroughs, but doing like different builds, or Fallout and doing like different the idea of that to me is so fun. So I think like anything Bethesda would be dope. I think that'd be so fun. The only problem is it takes a while for them to drop games. So
Yep. Yep.
like it would be like a content droid, but on like steroids. You know,
Yep.
we think Halo has it bad. We did have it bad, but you know, I think Bethesda, like creators, have it pretty awful.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Bethesda game fan. Like I tried
I
Fallout.
just leave the call. I leave the call immediately.
This interview's done. I tried Fallout 4 once. My brother-in-law had it, and I was like, "Do you mind if I borrow that?" I cranked it on the Xbox One, and as soon as I left the vault, I was just walking, and I was like, "It's kind of boring." I think that was like the point where like single-player games kind of was like just kind of died for me, and I couldn't get that like constant stimulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still have yet to even play Skyrim or try it. I think I've
fair.
watched like videos, people like doing mods and stuff, and just finding like new ways to innovate with that content that's like been existing so many times. You look at it and it's like, how can I present this in a way that feels fresh and new? And I think people who can do that are very respectful, etc. But yeah,
I totally get that. I've always just had that single player like bone in my body. You know, I
good.
love a good single player game.
that's good.
It's very rare that I actually finish a single player these days.
Yeah.
Just because streaming and making YouTube content on one particular game, it kind of like eats away your time from other games. But like God of War, when 2018 when that came out, like I played that, and I was like, this game is a masterpiece, and I was excited every single day to wake up to play more of that game until I beat it, you know, in a decent amount of time. But it's very rare for me to feel that. The last game I felt that with was Dying Light 1. When lockdown first happened, I bought Dying Light because I'm like, I like zombies. This game looks cool. I played it first night, and I was like, holy moly, this game is incredible. So I'm currently waiting to play Dying Light 2 in co-op with SJ. So
That's gonna be
hopefully we'll get there.
There you go. Yeah, I think the last. I think it was just when you have more time. When I bought a Switch, I got the Breath of the Wild bundle. Never, I don't think
Did you see the sports game?
Yeah, dude.
Bro,
I'm so excited for that.
Can we do a stream where we play tennis?
Absolutely.
Imagine how much fun that would be.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking hyped because I saw the trailer, my subscriptions, and I was like, holy shit! Like I had to I really like process it. I was like, oh, we haven't had a sports game since the fucking Wii. I was like, my god.
Yeah. Do you see the
Holy
soccer
shit.
game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a band you strap to your leg.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
That's gonna be so dope.
Sick.
I was a little bit sad because I was like, "Where's baseball? Where's boxing?" But I was like,
where's boxing?
I was like, "Where's golf?" And they were like coming in fall, and I'm like, "Okay." But
Wait, they're adding them?
so they're adding golf in fall,
Oh,
but
okay.
boxing and baseball are nowhere to be found at the moment.
For now.
Hopefully, for now, yeah.
I'd say if enough people were like, well, that game is going to be like an instant success.
Oh, yeah.
Because even for working out, that's going to be a great workout game.
For sure. It's gonna be fun. I think that could be like a lot of fun for streamers to play against each other.
Yeah.
Assuming
Yeah.
the online does well, but yeah.
Well, it does have online play, so we'll see if it's functional
Assuming
or
it's
not.
good. I've tried playing Mario Party with people before, and as soon as one person disconnects, game over. And it's like, all right,
come
let's
visit.
try again.
Come visit SJ and I in Atlanta, and we'll play it in person then.
Bet. Oh, it's gonna be fun though. I do miss Wii Sports because it's just such an easy thing to get into, and everyone can enjoy it so quickly and efficiently. Especially now with updated hardware.
Yeah.
Lordy. Cool. So, moving on from there. Obviously, I've struggled with this question when people have asked it to me before, and it's they're like, "What other games do you play?" And I'm like, "It's a great question." Halo 2, that's still a Halo game, just like, wow, Jesus, you're right. Fuck.
But it's the second one that's different.
It's the second one, yeah. Like it's different than I said Halo 4. I guess Halo's at work too. And sometimes these questions are difficult because you always have like, you can bring it up for yourself when someone asks that question, like, what's your favorite movie or what's your top 5 movies? You're like,
You're right.
I just
Like,
had
what
it.
do I even? What do I enjoy? Like, I don't
Exactly.
even
It's
know.
like, oh fuck. And then, later on you're thinking about it and you're like, oh right, there's that musical artist that I have like 3 albums memorized and I couldn't even think of that. It didn't come up for
Yep.
some reason. But
Yep.
what's a favorite non-Halo video game or video games of yours and why?
Dark Cloud 2. Easy answer.
Dark Cloud?
Yeah. So this
What's
game nobody has ever heard of. It makes me very sad.
I have not.
So I was a PlayStation kid. I didn't have an Xbox till I'm gonna put my seat back. We're getting comfortable.
Go for it.
So I was a PlayStation 2 kid. It was my first console, but that was like the first proper console. I had a Game Boy and stuff like that. Dark Cloud. I didn't play the first one. I had a demo disc for the first game, and then Dark Cloud 2. It was called Dark Chronicles or Dark Chronicle in Europe. Dark Cloud 2 in NA for whatever reason. So I got Dark Chronicle. Best game I ever played in my entire life. Still to this day. Kingdom Hearts 2 is like this far underneath.
Yeah.
Like Kingdom Hearts 2 is like literally pretty much neck and neck.
It's so
in some
good.
regards, Kingdom Hearts is better, but I think overall Dark Chronicle or Dark Cloud 2 just takes the cake for my enjoyment. Fun fact, never beat the game. My favorite game of all time, I've never beat it. Got to the final boss and it was too hard for me as a kid. Thing is though, PlayStation right here, it actually offers Dark Chronicle backwards compatibility for whatever, like super niche. Like it's not like a beloved PlayStation franchise as far as I'm aware, because nobody really knows of it that much. But I'm able to play it on my PS5 and I downloaded it. So I'm like, someday I will beat this game. I just need to find the time. Someday I will. But it is a great game. It mixes everything really that I enjoy besides like the FPS component. What a great game, dude.
That's good.
It's so good.
Yeah. And it comes when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 2, I think even if you don't like even understand the story or like what the hell is going on. Yeah, I don't either. My brother tried to like explain it to me and he's like, yeah, it also ties in with like Final Fantasy, and I'm like, why is it tying in with another game series? Why can't it?
You have these 13 hooded dudes, right?
Yep.
Then you have Donald and Goofy. Then you have Sora, the anime character. He holds a key. Huh?
It's so confusing.
Then there's a Disney princess.
Why is there entirety of Disney with it's so fucking confusing.
Why am I a lion with a key in my mouth? Huh?
Yep.
Like what's going on?
When Donkey dropped a video about like it was a satire video, but when he dropped a video about like the entirety of this timeline like explained, I was like, dope. Finally, someone's gonna explain it to me. And then halfway through, I'm like, oh, it's satire.
Yeah.
You had me in the first half, and then it's true.
I remember I started watching like a 1 hour plus video on the story before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And I think I watched all of it, and I was like, I can't remember the first half of this video. And without the first half, the second half made no sense. So I was like, I wasted my time. I still don't know what's happening.
It's so confusing. It is so damn confusing. But gameplay's fun, and for what you're playing in there, it's definitely fun. And I think that kind of works out even like with the Halo games. You know, if you just plopped Halo 2 down in front of somebody, like, here's the campaign, they're like, I had fun with it, even if they don't really fully know what's going on. But
I think what Kingdom Hearts has going for it, which is why it's so successful, even with a hard story, is it puts you in these worlds that you instantly recognize.
Yes.
Gives you a fun mini story. So it allows you to play, like, say you love Mulan, you know? It puts you in the land of Mulan, gives you a fun little story to play through. You don't need that much context to enjoy it.
Yep.
And it lets you interact and live and see these characters that you might love, but then times that by however many worlds are in each game. So like Kingdom Hearts 3 had the Toy Story world. I was like, this is dope. You know? Had the Monsters Inc. world, I think. That was dope. So. And then the Pirates of the Caribbean world in Kingdom Hearts 2. That was amazing. Yeah, I could talk about Kingdom Hearts all day.
Oh, yeah.
I love that game. You know what? I'm putting that even. The more I think about it, Dark Cloud and Kingdom Hearts 2 are equal for me. I really adored that.
I need to replay it sometime. Just need to find a PS2 and replay it, because it's those games where you enjoy them as a kid, and when you grow up hoping that the game is actually...
They're on Xbox.
Really?
On PC. They're on PC.
Right. Oh, right. I was literally about to buy them a few months ago, and someone was like, wait, I think like the remixers or something are coming out, and I was like, okay, you're fucking right.
I think they're on Game Pass. I might be completely wrong, but I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts 3
1,
maybe.
2, 3.
I heard they're on Epic.
They're on PC. They're on Epic.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. Well, there's the chance. But I mean,
Kingdom Hearts 2 in 120 FPS. Yes, please.
Actually,
even more.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that would actually be really nice. Oh,
I might
man.
buy it tonight, actually. Damn it! Why did I
Fuck.
say that?
Yeah.
But like the intro music
Ooh.
for Kingdom Hearts 2,
Dude.
it slaps. Oh, dude.
God
Even
damn, it's
Kingdom
so
Hearts
good.
3, Kingdom Hearts, Skrillex went off with the Kingdom
Oh, my
Hearts 3
lord.
intro. God damn.
When my brother first like put that on, I was sitting on the living room floor and I stared at the TV.
What, 2 or 3? 2?
2. I was
Okay.
completely entranced. I was like, how long does this go on for? Because I was like, it felt like a 30-minute intro. It had me hooked. I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but this is insane. And then Sora like falls down the water and he becomes Roxas. And you're like, what's going? It looked like at that moment in time, especially, it looked so photorealistic. Even though now we're like, yeah, it looks like that. But you're like,
Well, that's the magic thing about cell shaded graphics. Like they hold up really, really good.
so well.
So
oh my
cell
god,
shaded graphics are awesome.
It
Because
is-
Dark Cloud is also cell shaded, I believe.
Yep.
So
One of the best intros to a video game ever. Even if you don't even know what the hell's going on, it's so amazingly crafted. Oh my gosh.
yeah, the music, just the scene. Like, you know what I also love? Like Donald and Goofy. There's something so like comforting about those characters.
Yep.
You know, I don't care for them individually in their own things.
Yeah.
But having Donald and Goofy as a kid, like I felt so comfortable, so like safe. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Kingdom Hearts is like my comfort game. You
Yeah.
know, exploring with Donald and Goofy, hearing
You don't really, you just kind of
like-
trust them. Yeah. There's no like,
I don't
there's
know.
no like doubt about their character that they're gonna do anything like to harm you, in game or
Yeah.
like betray you. You're just like, yeah.
I remember. Do you remember that part of Kingdom Hearts 2 where you think Goofy died? Oh, do you remember that?
so.
That
I
broke
think
my
so.
heart, bro. That broke my heart so much. And then he lived, obviously, and I was like, thank God.
Thank
if he
God.
died, I don't think I would have recovered from that. Straight up.
Lord,
Yeah, I don't know. It was just great. What a great game.
It is. Bringing it around. It's been a interesting few months. Obviously we've had Halo Infinite and it's had its pros, had its cons, and a very, very large amount of discussion throughout the community, etc.
It's existed.
It's existed, yeah. It's there.
It's existed.
It's sitting
It's
there.
a game that exists.
Yeah. And I'm fully aware about like the annoyance of being asked the same question over and over again, especially even if it's just like a simple one, like sometimes you've been sick and then people come in and you get asked like, how you doing, like 50 times. You have to say the exact same thing over and over again. But now that it's been a few months, thoughts on Halo Infinite and the future of maybe not even like the franchise, but the future of the game, and obviously also taking into account like how other games have managed their live service over the years. I like, to be upfront, I don't like when people compare something like Halo Infinite to something like Apex coming in its 3rd year. When Apex first came out, after a month or two, huge amount of people dropped off and were like, this is incredibly boring. Myself included. I was like, I don't want to keep playing a battle royale game over and over and over again, because I got battle royale out from PUBG and I was like, this is the exact same thing, even if it is more fun. So just thoughts on it, and I guess hopes for the future, and what you feel like they need to do to kind of put the pedal to the metal.
I think Infinite so far has been a total disappointment. I don't think there's a better way to put it. It really has. You wait all these years for it, come out, people are complaining left, right, and center. People getting burnt out after a few months. Playing arena in the same maps, BTB. It's hardly functional for a long time. Campaign was cool. I haven't replayed the campaign. It's good campaign, great campaign. It can hold me over for so long.
Yeah.
Infinite has disappointed me so far, but as you said, judging a game off its first, span isn't really fair, especially when you, as you said, comparing it to other games. People are like, dude, look at Fortnite. Look at the amount of viewers Fortnite has versus Halo. I'm like, all right, bro. Fortnite didn't do anything until Season 3 came out.
Yep.
Season 3 of Fortnite.
And
Apex.
the fact that they even had to launch the battle royale to begin with, like it wasn't even a battle royale game to begin with. It was just some random co-op game.
Apex, as you say, You know, it came out, had a lot of hype because it was like, oh, new Respawn, they made Titanfall, blah blah blah.
Boom.
It fell off.
Oh yeah.
But then they kept working at it and it came back. People are acting like games don't do this all the time.
So many.
I think because Halo is such a long, old franchise, people have massive expectations, which they should, but they also have zero patience. They have zero, like, future, like, forward thinking in regards to this game. Am I currently disappointed? Do I think it could have been a lot better? Definitely. Do I think it's going to be amazing in a year's time? Dude, imagine Infinite when it has a huge game mode that is really fun, brand new, something we've never seen, has a butt ton of content, co-op is there, Forge is there, the craziest custom games you've ever seen in your life are being made left, right, and center.
Yeah.
We just got to be patient. And it sucks because I don't want to be like, I'm not saying like that's a justification for how the game launched, but I'm like, that's where we're at. What's the point in staying mad? You know, I would be such a depressed person if I held some grudge against 343 and developers for not launching the game how I wanted. You know, am I disappointed it didn't launch how I want? Yeah, of course. You know, I was a forerunner for however many years. I was like part of getting feedback.
Yeah, you played through God knows how many stages of it.
You know, I saw this game go from, you know, whatever stage to wherever it's at now.
Oh,
and
same.
for it to not launch how I thought it would, sucked. Like, it sucks. But do I know it's going to get there? 100%. I don't have a doubt in my mind that it's going to get there. And will I be there happily waiting for it? Yeah, I will. You know? So, I don't know. I think people are just being real antsy because they want to love Halo.
Yeah.
And the game they want to love isn't quite there yet. But the foundation is very solid.
Yeah.
Which is something good. You know, if it was like, if this game had come out and the gameplay was thought of the same as what Halo 5 or even Halo 4 was, we'd be in horrible situation. But the core foundation of this game is like incredible.
Absolutely.
So I think Infinite's gonna have a really good future. Just we have to wait for that.
They're
very handsy there.
that's good. Like I enjoy talking with my hands as well. There are God knows how many analogies you could place into with, you know, Infinite and its state and where it's at and where it could go and what they need to do, etc. And I've seen people talk about, you know, like, what about the games that haven't recovered? But I think, again, like, Halo has such a strong foundation of people who genuinely do want to play it, but there are not the same, you know, a huge amount of people out there, again, who are patient enough like you and I, and who are willing to sit there and, I guess, quote unquote, suffer through the issues. It is completely okay if you go and play other games. You know, like, no one is saying, hey, sit there and play through it and just suffer. Like, I don't blame them. I started getting back in Apex because, one, I missed it, and two, I was getting frustrated as well. And that's coming from someone who sat through like every patch of MCC and hoped and prayed it would fix it and never did for years to come. But I mean, yeah, like it's frustrating. It's like looking at, you know, it's like raising a kid, and, you know, they get to 18 or 20 and they still aren't really doing anything with their life. And it's like, you had all this time. Like, what were you doing? What have you been doing? And unfortunately, when it comes to like the developers, it's not like we know what happened or like what went wrong. And they obviously went through, who knows what happens.
It's probably something catastrophic. There has to be something horrible.
And sometimes, it's literally just like, sometimes it's completely out of their control and they just do the best that they can, and they're getting.
That's something that we'll never know.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately. Like Chris Lee left in 2020.
And who knows?
What the hell?
Who knows why? Yeah.
What the hell? You know, when I met the guy, great guy. Do we know why he left or where he went or what was the reason? No idea. Will we ever know? Probably not. That probably was one of the biggest factors as to why the game has released, you know, the way it has. And the fact that it even released the way it did, probably even like is a bit of a miracle, to be honest with you, all things considered.
Yeah, it's there are factors and lists of factors that have played into it, especially the way the entire industry has shifted over the past 2 decades of games being developed. You know, when you hear about Halo 2 and Halo 3's development, they're like, oh yeah, you had developers sleeping in the studio, and we had to cut this giant list of content just to make sure this game was playable, and it's a miracle that it's even working.
Many marriages were ruined because of Halo 2. So
yeah. And I mean, you know, it's good that they're not doing that now, but that is a reason as to why we're not getting finished games, is because they're not saying, hey, lock yourself in this studio and don't come out until this game is done. Otherwise, like, you're gonna be sorry. You're probably gonna lose your job. And I totally get that. I've worked in spaces where there are things out of my control, but unfortunately, the person that I have to tell that to is getting mad at me because they feel like it's my fault. But it's someone either above me or way, way above me that has made that decision. And unfortunately, I'm the one that has to take the anger for their decision. And so I think maybe that's something that happened. Who knows? Maybe, Microsoft or someone made a decision, or they made an unrealistic timeline, or there are so many things going on and so many hands on deck that will change and alter the outcome. But yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to wait even longer. But again, I think that is the most important reason. The most important point is that at least the core is good and it's fun, and we're so frustrated because we want to enjoy that, but at the moment we just can't, because Halo 5 launched and it was working, even if it didn't really launch with a whole lot. But no matter how much content you threw at Halo 5, if someone just didn't like how it played, they weren't gonna play it.
Yep.
I had friends who just couldn't really enjoy Halo 5. They're like, I can't, I don't want to play it. And so I was like, new update. They're like, I don't like Halo 5. I don't like Halo 5. No matter what you do to it, if you don't change the core of it, which they're not going to, I'm not going to play it. But with Halo Infinite, it's like, hey, I love it. I just got to give it some more time. They need more for me to be able to do.
The big thing about Infinite as well, and I think people don't appreciate how big of a factor this is, but anytime that I say, oh, I loved Halo 5, they're like, you liked Halo 5?
Yep.
You liked that campaign? I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Didn't like the campaign. I love the multiplayer.
Exactly.
The campaign of Halo 5 put such a sour taste in so many people's mouths that the entirety of Halo 5 was completely destroyed when it comes to public opinion. Whereas Infinite, great campaign, sets up a really cool story with the Banished going forward.
Yeah.
Gameplay is dope. So like, I don't know, dude. You look at like future campaign DLC. This is like we're snorting copium, like you're passing it back and forth here. So like, dude, like imagine some dope DLC. Like imagine a Flood DLC came out. Could you imagine the hype?
Yep.
Imagine the marketing and the hype around that. Comes out with a dope ass season, multiplayer. Instantly, population skyrockets again, and all these like growing pains are gone. They're not even a problem by that stage.
Absolutely.
This game's going to be fine. This game is going to be 100% fine.
Yeah.
If you think people are not going to flock back in their masses for a really like dope DLC, or if season 2 actually does look really cool and there's some significant changes being made to the game, people free to play, dude, what do they have to lose? People will come flocking back,
especially new people.
Game.
Yeah.
No, I literally don't even have like a worry in my mind in that regard. If Rainbow Six can come back from death,
Sea of Thieves.
If those games can come back, obviously they're not the number one in the game in the world. Not every game has to be number one in the world. Of course not. I never once thought Halo Infinite was going to be top 10 on Twitch. Like, why would it be? An arena shooter, viewership-wise, it's never going to be that.
Yeah.
If they come out with some Battle Royale mode, I'm down for that. But, I don't know. I think people are just like, oh, dude, your game is like number 56 on Twitch. Dead game. Developers fucked up. I'm like, dude, everyone that plays this game, for the most part, has a fun time. They realize that it is a fun game at the core. So I don't know.
As long as my opinion. Absolutely. As long as I get that impression, I think that's important. What is important? I mean, when Sea of Thieves came out, I jumped on that immediately. I was like, this game looks super fun, even when the trailer came out. And I played it for a bit with some friends, and I was like, there's not a whole lot to do here. And so I dipped out, and I was just like, maybe I'll come back later. And I did a year later, and I had some good fun, and I was like, this is pretty dope. But it just really wasn't the game for me, and I was able to recognize that. But I still had some fun. I still think of Sea of Thieves in a good light. And when it comes to like Apex, I've watched Apex, go up and down, and I played it when it first came out. I left. I came back in season 4, and that's when I really dedicated myself to that game, and I wanted to learn and get better. But I'm able to like watch it like go up and down and have peaks and valleys. Like when season 6 first came out, everybody was so angry at some of the changes that they made and that they eventually reverted. But there are seasons that come out that people just don't enjoy. So they maybe dip out for a season, they come back the next one, they're like, oh, this is so much fun. I know people that are like, I haven't touched Apex since 2019. Is this season really that fun? Like, am I gonna get back into it? That will happen for everybody. And we think about, what seasons you spent in Fortnite, whether you're still doing it or not, or what,
Yeah, that's a great example. You have people that are like, oh dude, I loved season 3 to 5 on Fortnite. Yeah. Season 7 was pretty fun. Season 9 I really liked, but then you have those like weird seasons in between where you're like, for me, they didn't really like hit that well, so I didn't really play them. Hopefully, I hope with every season of Infinite I enjoy, but I think Infinite is a little bit different from those because really what's going to change that dramatically might change like properties of a weapon, but I don't think Infinite will change to the fact where, you know, one season I'll hate it, another season I'll love it. Because hopefully they'll just keep adding content, but yeah, you don't have to play a game always every single minute of your life because there's so much other stuff out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is completely okay to enjoy other game franchises. You know, you don't have to be playing Halo every day of your entire life to label yourself as a Halo fan.
Yeah. You don't have to meet like a quota every week of playtime to be Halo fun.
I went to the Cox Communications store the other day and to drop something off, and the guy noticed my Halo mask, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't played that in however many years, and I used to play Halo 2 and Halo 3." And we were talking a little bit about Halo Infinite. I was kind of telling him like the issues we had, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just kind of a COD guy now." And I was just like, "Well, if you want to try it, it's like it's free." He's like, "Oh, it's free?" I was like, "Yeah." So exactly, it's just the way it is. It goes up, then it goes down. So I guess I'll ask both. What is most important to you in a Halo game? What's the one thing that you would hope that they get right, or that is like it has to be there, whether it be now or at some point, but it's just like you think about Halo multiplayer and that usually this aspect will usually come up. Or maybe it's associated with like a memory that, you know, ties into it.
It's a bit of a generic answer, but just the gunplay. The gunplay just has to be satisfying.
Yep.
And for me, every Halo game has had really satisfying gunplay. Is what Halo has always done really well. You know, people get frustrated at Halo 3, but landing a clean 4-shot with the BR in Halo 3 is like unparalleled. So I think the gunplay, gameplay-wise, in general, with Infinite is like spot on. You know, I really want to see equipment like return, and I think this game, gameplay-wise, is like perfect for me.
So much fun.
I think it absolutely is perfect.
All right. Do you have a favorite Halo memory or memories? One that stands out where you think of Halo, you think of this moment. Could be in campaign, alone, could be with friends, could be while you're streaming, could be in custom games. Maybe you're forging with friends. Anything.
I have like the definitive answer. Like I think my answer might be the best out of anyone's ever. So
yeah. All nullified.
ODST just launched, right?
Yeah. Me
and my buddies who made that Bloodstained Shield clan that I told you about previously. We're still buddies. We're still playing. We just don't want to be in that clan anymore.
Fair.
ODST launches. We're all mega geeked out. We're super hyped. Me and my other buddy have all the vidmasters up to that point. So me and my buddy, and we get our other two friends who we play Halo with, we get together and we do an all-night LAN of ODST. Probably like 5 or 6 days after it launched. I can't remember the exact time scale. The objective for this night: 1, have fun. 2, eat as many snacks as we possibly can. 3, beat ODST's campaign on Legendary and complete every vidmaster available in the game to unlock recon armor. If you remember that, if you got all the vidmasters, you unlocked recon. Yeah. That was our goal. So get to my buddies. I brought my super terrible TV that my mom had. It was like a small like TV screen. Yep. Brought my Xbox, and it was just my buddy's room. Luckily, it was pretty big. Me and my buddies, we all had our own setups connected to the internet, and we're gaming. We're just gaming ODST all night on our own little setups in his room. We beat ODST on Legendary 4-player co-op. Then we're like, all right, dope. So then we start doing the vidmasters. We do all the vidmasters that night. So the campaign one, the firefight one. I think it was just those two. Remind me more, I can't remember. We did all the vidmasters. Then I get on my buddy's laptop. He unlocks recon in Halo 3. Then he passes the laptop to me. I sign in. Then I unlock recon in Halo 3. Then we jump on Halo 3. Go into a custom game, and we just stare at each other's recon. we've done it. We've got recon armor in Halo 3. Like, I literally couldn't believe it. And then our other friend, he wanted to do ODST. We were up like literally all night. Like we were up till like 11 a.m. or something like that. So our other buddy, he wanted to do ODST 4-player co-op on Legendary. So one of our friends was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just chill out. So we played through ODST's campaign a second time on Legendary in the one night, and we just blasted through it. Greatest night of my life, Halo-wise. Got Recon, got all the vid masters. It was
God.
awesome. It was
Just a
so
night of
awesome.
achievements.
Yeah, it was so sick, dude.
Yeah.
I felt bad for my other friends that didn't have all the vid masters, but that was on them to not be prepared.
Yeah. Lordy. That's good. That is, yeah, definitely definitive. Whew. All right. Well, moving on from there, I do have some dug up relics, I guess, of your past, if you don't mind. We'll go through it probably section by section, then I have a question I want to ask you at the end of it. But first and foremost, we have this. Can you tell me what this is? Because this is the first photo you apparently have ever uploaded to Instagram. The caption isn't there anymore. I don't know if you deleted it or what, but there's a few comments that accompany it. And honestly, looking through some of your old Instagram posts, there are some fairly recent comments on the old posts that people would put up there, and they'd be like, oh, like, it's so weird to see how far you've come, or like, you know, how you used to look, etc. But what is this?
I think that was a little light, like an outside light that my parents had. And it was just on our like side door.
Yep.
And I think I had just made my Instagram account, and I was like, I need to post something. What can I post? And I saw the duck, and I was like, snap. Stuck like the most generic Instagram filter you could find on it.
Yep.
Like, there you go.
Like Nashville
First,
or something. Yep.
there was no like reason. There was nothing special. Didn't have a caption ever. It was just photo of a duck on my Instagram, and that's just it. And I feel like I can't delete it. Like it's just been there for so long.
Yeah, I think this was let me see here. May 27th, 2012. Coming up on 10 years of that being there.
That's wild.
Lordy. Next, this is this was the first selfie that was on here. This was April 13th, 2016.
Fuck. He is that guy. Damn.
Almost 6 years old.
That's only 6 years?
So it seems, I believe. Or maybe not. I think I might have labeled it wrong.
I literally look like a different.
Yeah,
I look like a different
I think I might have labeled it wrong because I was very tired when I did all this. So this very much could have been much sooner. I think I might have labeled the date wrong. So no, it's not 6 years.
I recognize the hoodie.
Yeah.
I think it's like,
but
more
it's
like
it's the first selfie. So yeah,
it's 2012. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely still like 2012. I think I put a 6 instead of a 2. 2012, 2013, basically the first selfie, but yeah. So it is crazy to think. Yeah, it's crazy to think of how much time passes. Lordy. Up next, this was on your Twitter. This was a thumbnail that you had. This was from the ending of 2015. This was for one of your videos. This was a Christmas vlog.
Notice I'm still in the same setup. I blew my eyes out. I just cranked the saturation up and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, I remember making that with Christmas Day, and I was like, gotta upload because I used to do daily Decembers, so I'd upload every day.
Yeah.
So made a just easy, quick, Christmas vlog.
A nice little Xbox Connect in the background too, and the cables. Damn. Yeah, everything's improved.
Everything has upgraded, thankfully.
It is nice. You're gonna have a new setup here soon, fairly.
Yep. I'm excited.
That's gonna be something.
Very excited.
Next up, this was you. This is your 23rd birthday. So this is
I'm like a low key
years
e-boy.
old.
I'm like a low key e-boy, I think. You're like the definition of an e-boy. Like we both, like you just are. Like we both know that. Show me your ring. Put your ring up. E-boy with his damn rings. Look at them.
So this
what
was
I doing with my hair? You know what the best decision I ever made was? Going to a barber. I started going to a barber.
And they're like they just know.
I need to go again, but it does the hair nice, does the beard. Like back then, it was just monstrosity, awful.
Yeah, it's definitely once you can actually start doing something with your hair, your whole life changes.
Big time.
But yeah, okay, so that was late 2017. So that was just about 2 years after Halo 5 had come out. I don't have a video of it, but when I was looking for old videos, I found the first like basically Halo 5 video of like when you guys were starting up the game and you're with your friends and you were like super fucking excited. And it was super nice to just see that excitement of you like you're like panic opening. You're like, oh, I open Destiny. Shit. Oh, okay. Halo 5 it's starting, and it's such a nice feeling because you have your own memories of that, but like seeing other people experience that is also super just heartwarming. This one was actually one of the first posts I remember seeing of you when I think I followed you, because this is around the time I started getting into streaming and just the Twitch scene in general. This is like early 2019. This is when you crashed your car. How did that happen?
So I was going to get my dad and I some takeaway food, like literally just go down that road, and that's where the place was. So I parked my car, but I didn't like where it was parked because I was like, it's a bit out in the road, like I should probably move my car. So I was parked and I decided to move my car. So I drive up the road and I like, kind of pull it a little bit, but I'm sat still. So I look to my left to make sure there's no cars coming. Go to look to my right. Poof! I get absolutely sideswiped. I wasn't moving. I was still. I guess the car coming up the road wasn't paying attention, whatever. Absolutely knocks into me. My car does a full 180.
Oh my
so
God.
it does. So that's how much force. And then I remember, it's the only crash that I've ever been in, but I remember I thought, I remember like kind of like coming back to realize, I didn't get like knocked out or anything, but I like kind of came back to realization. I was like, and I literally said, holy shit, did that just happen? I literally said that because, have you ever been in a crash before?
Yeah, I have. It was one where it was like black ice and I basically lost control. I was going over like a bridge and someone was coming up it, and the front left of my part basically hit their driver's side. And it's horrifying because like your entire life just kind of freezes and you don't have control. And I had a few, but for them, almost all of them, I have not had control. Like only one did I like actually like, was able like to actually try to do something, but there's ice and you can't really turn on ice. And then the most recent was I was just rear-ended while just sitting there going like 35 miles an hour and they were trying to stop. But yeah.
Well, I've never had like anything, like I didn't have a bump, didn't have anything. Like this was my first experience. So it was like a brutal, like,
it's a
like
180. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lordy.
So then I kind of come back to my senses and I'm like, holy shit, did that just happen? Oh my God, like the other person, like, are they okay? Then my nose just fucking waterfall of blood. And I was like, I don't even remember hitting my nose. Like, I don't know what happened there. So if you look, people have been like, is that Taco Bell on your bonnet? Like, no, that's my blood. So then I get out, the other guy, some like older dude, absolute dickhead. Fuck that guy. He was like, that's your fault. You're going to lose your license over this. Trying to like scare tactic, because I'm obviously like a younger dude, looking terrified. Trying to scare tactic to me, be like, oh, it's my fault. Even though his car smacked into mine. So then, obviously, I like look at my car and be like, "Is it fucked?" I see the tire and I'm like, "Yes,
it's fucked.
It's fucked." You can't tell in that photo, but the entire frame of the car had shifted. It like was off its like it wasn't straight anymore. It was completely off its center. So then I called my dad and I was like, "Dad, just been in a car crash. Can you come help me?" So that's his van in the background. So then he obviously like comes, like there's a church just to the right off like you can't see in the photo. Loads of people in the car park obviously just witnessed. So some nice girl came and she was like giving me like drink of her Monster, trying to like calm me down. Cause like, you kind of have that adrenaline. So you're like,
it's instant adrenaline. You're like,
so I'm like, I'm just kind of sat on the side of the road. My head starts to get dizzy because I'm like kind of like realizing what happened. The other driver was like, look, we don't have to get like the police involved or anything. Like, just pay me like £1,000 for the damage you've caused and we'll call it off. My dad was like, kind of like, it'll be good. And then he was like, no, fuck that. Like, we'll go through insurance. Like, of course we will.
Give me £1,000 for the damage that you inflicted to my car.
Yeah, because like if we didn't get insurance involved, then I'd have to pay this car off. I wouldn't ever get like money back or whatever. So then we're like, no, we'll go through insurance. So I don't know like what happened with his car, but we got my car taken away to like a scrapyard, and then I called my insurance company. It was such a pain in the ass to deal with. So many calls were made, so many things to contact.
Much is, my lord.
So I think I had like like £2,000 or something left to pay on that car until it was like fully mine. I think I got 7,000 back from the scrap parts. So I profited like £5,000 from this car crash, which is like insane to think about. Like I came out better kind of from this car because I had been thinking like, maybe I want to change up my car. You know, I've been driving this one for a while. So I promise, any legal people watching, this wasn't on purpose to get a new car. This just kind of worked out well. So then I got the money from the insurance for this happening, and then I got my Audi, and I absolutely love my car. So
there you go. I got kind of lucky when that girl rear-ended me at the end of August because I was on a loan. It was like a 4-year loan, and I probably probably easily could have paid it off earlier than that, but basically the insurance company was like, well, we might pay for the fix, but the fix was like a ludicrous amount. It was like over like $6,000 just to fix a rear end. And they were like, well, it's a total loss, so you can either have us take your car and we'll give you this amount, or you can keep it and we'll give you this amount. And I was like, I'll keep it. Like if it's like I like just gotten it. It's just like the bank that's fucked up. I don't really care how the car looks for the most part. Like it gets me to point A to point B. If it drives well, that's fine.
As long as it still drives and you don't care how it looks, then
absolutely.
I'm definitely the problem. I'm one of those people that really cares about having like a decent looking car. Like you see in that car, I like the aftermarket like tires on it and shit. I like my cars to look a little bit nothing crazy, but
of course, that's fine.
Not like another car on the road. I like my car to be like just a little bit. Kind
of get people to just kind of go.
Nice. Yeah, I like people to be like, nice car. I remember whenever I was driving this car, I went into my local shop and the guy serving me at the counter was like, so you think you could sell your car? I love it. And I was like, I remember I left and I was like, I got a nice compliment on my car. Yeah, I would even consider, well, I'm like a really light car guy. I will truly appreciate a nice car. But I couldn't tell you anything about cars technically.
Absolutely.
But like a nice looking car, you get those people that are like, I don't care, it's a car. Whereas I'll be like, holy shit, this car is beautiful,
Yep. You look at a car and you're like, that's a dope car. No idea what it is, no idea the specs, but there's some people that can look at a car and be like, I know
people
exactly.
People are like, oh, what's the size of that engine? I'm like, why does that matter? Like,
how many cylinders, how much horsepower?
Like, I don't give a shit. As long as it looks cool, that's what matters to me.
I'm not going 120 down the road every time I drive it.
I don't speed ever.
Exactly.
I'm a good driver in that regard. Maybe I'll go like a little bit over, but not. I'm not one of those guys who are like, I'm gonna go 120 just because I can. Like, I'm like, why would I do that? Imagine my tire flew off. I'm dead.
Exactly.
What is the point of me doing that risk?
It's like it can go to 0 to 60 in this amount of time, and it's like, when are you going 0 to 60? What?
I remember in this car, my friend, he lives on like a farm. So I took this car to his house. He was like, oh, do you want to like take our cars out into the field and just drive them? And I was like, okay, like, why not? Like, it's in a field, it's fine. So we're like skirting about, driving around his field. And then out of nowhere, there was this like a massive like bump in his field. And my car, obviously it's what I drive on the road. Not meant to be like off-road, whatever. But this was like the meanest bump you'll ever feel in your life. And I'm like, I just fucked up my car for no reason. So I get out of my car. There's like this like under the bumper thing had just fallen off my car. It was completely fine though. But something had fell off my car. That was actually not too long before this happened. So I don't know. I guess it all worked out for me. I've had some pretty, like before this car, I had a really terrible experience with my previous car to this one. Like probably some of the worst experiences ever. I remember I was driving home from work. It was a Renault Megane, and I was driving home. It was like pitch black at night, and then my lights just cut off, and we driving down the road. So you imagine you're driving, and then all of a sudden, pure darkness.
And then no streetlights?
No streetlights in this particular stretch of road. Oh. And I was like, oh my god, I can't see anything. Holy shit! So I like somehow managed to like pull into like this like house, like estate, pretty close by. Luckily there was no other cars next to me, and I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, all of my lights have turned off in my car. Like, I guess the bulbs, the fuse or something had just stopped working.
Every single one of them.
So he's like, where are you? I told him, and he drove to me because he also was working in that area.
Yeah.
Drove to me. So then I had to follow him like this close to his van. He was like my light basically going home. So I had to follow him all the way home in my car. With that same car, no, sorry, in this car, I was driving to my girlfriend's house at the time. I really do say girlfriend weird, don't I? Girlfriend?
Gordle.
Girl? My girlfriend?
You say it like Gru.
Yeah. And then on the motorway, I was going like 60 or 70 or whatever. And then all of a sudden my car's engine just cut off and the entire car just went dead as I was going 60 or 70. With cars, I was in the overtake lane as well. So there's cars to my left, cars in front of me, cars behind me. And my car just went dead.
Oh.
Like, you imagine how scary that is?
I've run out of gas before, and that's like...
God. Terrifying.
Yeah.
So luckily the cars to my left, there was like a gap. So I managed to like drift my car over with the momentum that I had and take it into like the, you know, the lane on the left or whatever. Or right, I don't know what it is in America.
Right in the US, yeah.
So then I like... the car stopped. There's people like honking their horn, like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, my engine just stopped. Like, what do you want? So then I'm in the middle of the motorway, never been in a situation like this ever. My parents, you know, obviously when you're younger, you kind of depend on your parents for situations like this pretty heavily.
Of course.
So they were away in England, so I didn't even have my parents to kind of like call and be like, help me please. So I like opened the bonnet of my car. As I was just saying, I'm not a car guy. I don't know what the hell I was looking at or looking for, but I opened it being like, is there anything to look at? Didn't notice anything off. Get back in the car and I'm like, I'll let it sit. Turn the key, it started. And I was like, sus, but okay. I start driving again. I get to like, I think 30 miles per hour, engine cuts off again. And I was like, oh fuck. Luckily, I was like 10 minutes away from my girlfriend's. It's like a 50-minute drive, so I was pretty much the entire way there. So I was like, okay, like I don't want my car's engine to explode or something, but I will drive slowly to her house. So I realized if I stayed under 30 miles per hour, the car, while rumbling and making weird noises, wouldn't cut out. Get to her house, tell her dad. Her dad was a bit of a hard-ass dickhead, so he wasn't much help at all. And I was like, so whatever, I was at her house for the weekend, so I kind of forgot about it. Comes to Sunday, I have to drive home, I have work the next day. And I was like, okay, I have a 50-minute drive ahead of me. My car, last time I drove it, cut out if I went over a certain speed. So I'm like, guess I'll drive home slowly. So what is usually like a 50-minute drive turned into about 2.5 hours. So you imagine going slowly down the motorway. The car is like, the engine is literally like shaking violently. Like it is shaking the entire car because it's like rumbling because something's wrong with it. I probably shouldn't have drove it, realistically thinking back. It progressively got worse though the more I drove. So I was really close to home at this stage. I was maybe like 7 minutes away from home. I was stopped at a traffic light for pretty much the first time after getting off the motorway, and my car was going like shaking. I was drenched in sweat. I like literally drenched in sweat because I'm like, what if my car just fucking explodes or something? I finally get home and my heart is like pounding out of my chest because I'm like, that was the worst drive of my entire life. It really absolutely horrified me because the entire drive I was nervous that my car was gonna, I don't know, explode or something, or, you know, obviously it wouldn't like erupt like a nuke, but I was worried that I would cause some irreversible engine damage. So then I contacted like a, you know, guy to come fix my car.
Yeah.
It was some little tiny fuse in the engine that needed replaced, and that was the entire fix. One little like fuse just needed switched. I was like, are you serious? Are you kidding me?
Fuck kidding me? Jesus.
You can tell that it was traumatic for me because of how dramatic I can remember. Like, I can remember it so vividly.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I was dating this one girl way back in 2018, 19. We were driving, I was driving back to like drop her off because we lived really far away from each other. And I decided to have her drive because, you know, I was like really tired and wanted to take a nap. And it was wintertime. And she was like getting off on like the exit to leave. The roads were fine, but the exits all had ice on them. And so she didn't like slow down to do so. And I'm like waking up and she's like trying to like turn the wheel. And so basically like it's supposed to go like this and we just go like off into the ditch into like snow that's like this deep or so. Super fucking deep. And I'm like, and like they have like the little like mile markers too, or like the little like metal poles. Ran right over one of those. Yep. And I think basically ever since when I would drive at speeds like 60, 70, like highway speeds, shaking like, and I'm just like, probably should get that checked out. Never did, but not my problem anymore. But yeah, it is.
In my first car, the one where the lights cut out randomly, another issue I had with that was the entire suspension fell out of the car when I was at work once, which was great. That was awesome whenever the suspension just fell out of the car. I got Subway on my lunch break. So I had like 2-minute drive away, drove there, got my Subway, got my car, went to drive back to work. And then I'm driving in the car park and then I hear a as I drag it along behind me. And I'm like, I don't even want to know what that noise was. So I drove the 2 minutes to my work and I looked and I was like, why did this happen? Why, for what reason did this just happen? Super annoying.
Huh.
Super annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't. Same. There's so many. I'm just like, I just want like an electric car, because like I remember when I saw someone open the hood of an electric car, I'm like, holy shit! All the things that cause so many problems just aren't there.
I want teleportation. Just
that too.
Click my fingers and I'll just teleport.
Figure this shit out quickly. Okay, moving on from Instagram posts to Twitter. Have a few. Some old ones.
Twitter's probably a war zone there.
There was a lot of it was just, you just starting basically. This one's from December 21st, 2015. It was one that I found that no one interacted with at all. There were no likes, no retweets, no replies, or nothing. It was just a thought you had at 4 p.m. your time.
Okay.
10 p.m. I believe, if the time is accurate. First day of winter, 2015, a little bit after Halo 5 had come out.
Okay. Maybe one day I will. I still think that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I actually can't remember making that tweet. Maybe one day I will.
Maybe one day. Always time.
Not one interaction. That's so bad.
Nothing. So,
man.
Someone probably saw that and said, just keep going here.
Terrible.
And then we also talked about your old gamer tags. And I found a tweet of you listing them out, basically.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I didn't mention the second use of Ginger Ninja, but there you go.
There you go. ESS. Repulse looked a little bit better in my head, but now that I'm seeing it there, I'm like, oh, that's.
It was dreadful.
It's really rough looking at it.
I don't have Cosmic Fusion there. I missed that one out.
I was thinking about it, I didn't see it, but tweets way back then that was like basically all you could say. That's all you could type out. It's a miracle.
I remember they were super short.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more. This was again, like ending of 2015, I believe. It was just before the new year of 2016. You basically just hit 1,000 subscribers.
I remember I was so hyped to hit 1,000 subs. I was like,
you had tweets leading up to it. You were like 960, this many, like we're so close.
Yeah, I built up 1,000 so much in my head. I feel like for like a smaller creator, 1,000 is like a really big deal.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. You have those goals and you have, what matters to you. And obviously, you always look to bigger and better things, but it is those moments that definitely stay with you for a while. Last tweet. This is the ending of 2016, December 31st, 6:57 p.m. your time. 40 likes, 2 retweets. These are your goals for 2017. Can you remember what you typed?
My goals for 2017?
Yep. So 2016 is over. Your channel has popped off, etc.
I want to say my goal was 30K.
Okay. Was that it? Is that all you think you put?
Twitch partner, maybe?
Okay. Here's what you had.
50. Okay, wow, I had really big goals then.
Yep. 50,000, 3 million views, and Twitch partnership. If I work hard, I believe I can do it.
Interesting.
There you
Well,
go.
I don't think I did any. Maybe the 3 million views. I don't think I didn't do 50,000. I didn't do Twitch partnership that year.
There you go.
It took me a little bit longer for Twitch partnership.
But eventually you hit
Goals
it.
are important.
Eventually you
Yeah.
hit it. Yeah. I think that's the main thing
eventually.
is that is what can be very demotivating for I know some people. At like the end of the year, they look back at their goal list and they're like, what the fuck did I spend the last year doing? Like,
Yeah, right.
I have 2 out of these 10 checked. What do I do? And then it's like they just carry on over the next year, and it's like
Yeah.
you feel like you didn't really do anything. Okay, those are the tweets.
Okay.
This is going to be. This is your very first YouTube. Well, not your very first YouTube video, but one of the first Halo 4 videos. It's a commentary video.
Yeah. This is just the beginning, is it?
It's the entire. We watched the entire thing, but it's what it is. This is only the start. Halo 4, 41 and 6. This was uploaded January 21st, 2014. So just around
Classic.
that time. Absolutely.
A classic.
I thought about doing a compilation of your intros.
I had a lot of intros.
Hey guys, Nick here, and today I'm bringing you a Halo 4 gameplay commentary. The score in this game
God.
was 41 and 6, which for me
Six.
personally, is the
Six.
best score I've ever
I had
gotten
braces.
in Halo. In the, I don't even know, 6 years of me playing Halo. It's the best score I've ever gotten by a long way, and in my opinion,
You almost died at the beginning there.
So
Can't
you guys
even
really
understand
enjoy
what I'm
that.
saying.
But this commentary is not about the gameplay at all. This is about
Know what about the
my
gameplay?
channel,
Shut
my
up.
brand new channel. You know, it's probably my 8th channel that I've ever
I
made.
was listening and I was like, your
I've made a lot
8th
of
channel?
channels in my history on YouTube.
What?
But it's just gonna be telling you guys what I have planned for my channel, what kind of videos, what kind of games, and what kind of entertaining things you'll be seeing on my channel. In the
I feel like I can't remember who it would have been, but I feel like my commentary is so like forced because I'm trying to be like someone else that I probably watched at the time.
Probably.
It doesn't sound natural or
yeah. Main points that I got out of it was basically there was a point where you were talking about like what the type of content you wanted to make, and you were like Dragon Age Inquisition, Skyrim, and it was just like a slew of games that you were like, yeah, I'm gonna make content for these games, but obviously you ended up
Never did.
making Halo videos. You were at one point talking about how like you live in Northern Ireland. It's a very small country. Not a whole lot of people live here, especially Halo creators. So I feel like with my accent, I kind of have something unique to bring to the table. And yeah, I think at one point you were talking about like getting mad. You're talking about like how if you make me mad, like you're gonna be sorry or something like that. And it's just funny to really listen to. But
my old commentaries make me cringe because I try to be funny and it does not land at all, and it makes me cringe beyond belief.
try your best.
I don't know.
game, I will
don't
literally
know.
tear your face off and wear it.
There it is. Yeah. hold on.
Is real, and it will literally bite your head off if you anger it. If you anger me during a game, I will literally tear your face off and wear it. I just get very angry. But I'm trying to be a nice guy half the time and trying to be respectful to other people.
I used to
But
be
if you
way
piss me
more
off,
ragey. I
You're not
guess.
gonna have a good time. No, you're not. But anyway,
No, you're not gonna have a good time.
No,
I
you're
know
not.
My rage
Hit
problem.
me.
There's a
That
moment.
commentaries
Hold
gonna
on.
be a big thing
Here it
for
is.
me. There's an overkill. What
Leave a
more
like.
could you want? An
What more could
untouchable
you want?
41 and 6 overkill with a rocket.
Check.
Amazing. That's what I saw this gameplay. As soon as I got that, I was like, yes, this.
I
is gonna be a
should
good-
remaster this commentary where I just do it word for word
gameplay.
again.
Holy
Please.
flip.
Holy
I
flip.
don't know, but yes.
Holy flip.
So yeah, that's just me.
Oof.
I have a busy schedule, but I'm gonna try and keep to a 2-day
Yeah.
schedule for now of uploading, and then if YouTube gets more, if my channel picks up a bit, I could possibly move to every day. It just depends on life, I guess, and how I feel about the coming months of YouTube. As I really feel like I could make a good go on YouTube. My only attribute over
Damn right.
anyone else on YouTube is that I'm from Northern Ireland, and that is a very small country. So there is a very tiny majority of people that actually have my accent on YouTube. So that's like my niche. That's my thing that I could take advantage of. No one else really has my accent except like 2 other big YouTubers. I don't know, but my accent's my thing, and I'm gonna roll with it. And hopefully my commentary can improve over time and catch up with it. But yeah, this gameplay is over. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and just leave a comment saying anything at all. If you want to add me on Xbox, my gamer tag is UberNick. No spaces or anything, just UberNick, and that's me. That's my gamer tag. So if you want to add me, we can play Halo. We can play anything you want. I don't really mind. So yeah, my name has been Nick. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.
Oh man,
It was a good start.
it's made it through. Yeah, I mean, well, you kept going, which is which is the most important. And then comparing,
my commentary has cut up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's hope it catches up. And then moving on from there, I have your latest video, just to very
This would be
quickly
interesting,
compare.
actually.
Oh yeah. So obviously you had a lot of, different style videos, and a lot of them that I honestly like marveled at, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is really well done. This is your latest one.
Hey, what's up guys, Nick here. Welcome back to a very exciting video today. We're finally gonna play some big team battles. I haven't really been able to do my proper...
Pause for 1 sec. I just noticed in the first video, I tracked a bit of text on the rocket saying leave a like.
You did.
In this video, I still tracked a bit of text saying what's up on the Spartan. I'm still tracking text all this time later. That's so funny.
Halo Infinite gameplay content because, I'm a BTB guy. It's what I enjoy playing the most within Halo. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like down below. And according to my analytics, about 200% of you aren't currently subscribed. So if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. High Power. High Power is arguably my favorite big team battle map, but I feel like a lot of people don't love this map.
It blows my mind because it is literally the supreme map out of the 3, and people are like, fragmentation. Like, what?
I don't know. Don't know what they're talking about.
It's so confusing. But yeah, that is that's that.
I will say the difference is astounding.
Oh,
you'd hope
absolutely.
so after 8 years or
8
whatever
years. You'd hope something would click, but yeah,
I just got way more comfortable on camera, way more comfortable in my own speech.
It is a such a valuable feeling to be able to sit in front of a camera and feel comfortable and not feel like I've done that before where I've like voice acted, and like as soon as I get behind the microphone, like a flip switches and I'm like, shit, how do I act? What do I do?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Who am I? It is an incredibly confusing thing. But there are 2 questions left. Hopefully not too long. There's one that ties into this, and you might have already said it at some point, could be different, but what is a choice you made in your life that changed it forever that you doubted or almost didn't make?
But I think it's something different from the making that Call of Duty steals from Halo video.
Okay.
That would be my answer, but I've already mentioned that.
Yeah, it could be tied to your content. It could be tied to like, this entire thing, or it could be literally anything else in your life, people you've met, etc. Anything that like it could have, like, your entire mindset and mood and who you are and like your enjoyment of life could have been different.
I have an answer. I think making the decision that I want to be one of those people that goes to like as many events as I can. I think you get these creators that never really show themselves like out, they don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like events wise, maybe they just don't like events, which is totally fine. But I made the decision like I really want to try and be as social and like out there as I can, because I feel like you have a limited run as a creator. You have that period where you're kind of hot. People are like watching and enjoying your stuff, and it won't be there forever. And I being very proactive in like, I don't know how long this will last. I don't know how long I'll be able to do this kind of thing. Yep. And I want to create as many memories as I possibly can. So that's why I love going to events. That's why COVID really got me down, because I'm like 2 years of my life literally like taken away in that regard. I gotta say, during COVID, that's when all my channels and stuff grew the most. It was definitely good for me in that regard, but the experiences I missed out on, like I wouldn't trade those experiences for the growth that I've had.
It's a give and take.
So yeah, making the decision to be someone that tries to go to these events. You know, I've spent a lot of money going to events. Plane tickets are not cheap, but
Nope.
the memories that I've made, you know, the PAX trips that I've been on, I've created just the best memories at PAX, for example. You know, Tacoing and Fletch,
Yep.
Green Skull, you know, meeting 343, going to the studio, you know, hanging out with Ishak, getting drunk with Ishak. You know, I've created like the best memories going to events. So making that decision to like go and, you know, not worry about the price is definitely like a really big one for me, because I've, you know, met lifelong friends because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. All right. Last question. I asked this to everybody. You maybe have already answered it. Maybe. You know, always it could be something else. There's some people have asked this question where I was expecting them to say a particular answer and they threw me into left field. And I was like, whoa. If you could travel back to a specific moment in your life just to re-experience it, none of your actions would change the outcome. You'd simply just have the chance to be there and re-experience everything you felt, or even, you know, maybe knowing what was going to happen, you could really just feel it. When would that be?
Ooh. That's a tough one.
It is.
My birth.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's a hard one. I've had a lot of really great memories, but I'm like, I can't think of what one stands above the rest, you know? The first time I met SJ. It was so different. It was so funny to think about when we first met.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a hard question. There's so many events. Maybe the first time I went to PAX or something. Like, I really did. I had so much fun that trip. Maybe my second PAX trip, actually.
That was what year?
Yeah. 2018?
2018.
I think. Yeah, 2018.
I
I don't know. That's a hard. I just have
is.
so many good memories.
That's good.
I really don't know.
That's good.
I don't know which one stands out the most to be like above all else. That's
Yeah.
what I would, you know.
I mean, I
Maybe
think
my first, you know, maybe my first Forerunner trip. That I can't tell you anything about why. I want to go back and revisit that. But
it's unfortunate.
yeah, my first Forerunner trip. That's my answer.
All right.
You have to
First
think about
Forerunner
that.
trip. Oh, we'll never know.
Never know.
Never keep it in there. It's hard to. It's
Right.
hard to. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and show it.
I got this during my first Forerunner trip. So.
Oh, they gave that to you in your first trip. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, right. Yeah, because it's just been sitting there on the side and like no one's ever seen it the entire time. Oh my lord.
It was sat here for like 2 years off camera.
Paid reactions.
Paid reactions.
Fake reactions. Oh wait. Well, that is that. All right, Nick. That's all the questions I have for you. That was a good talk. That was always a good talk. I'm always
great.
nervous
How long was
before that was like just coming up on 2 hours. Just coming up.
Cool.
But that was I always kind of get nervous before these because I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna ask? And then I get the question list done and I'm like, yeah, got this. That was good. That was really enjoyable. All right.
I think we have a good flow. We bounce off each other well. So.
That was good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for me. After this segment is now over, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Unfiltered. Hope you enjoyed having Nick here. We're gonna shimmy on down over to Night Vibe. So hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed all the answers, maybe you got to go and maybe you got to know Nick a little more. Maybe even if you think you've known him, maybe you've got to know him a little bit more.
You never really know me.
Exactly. Cool. All right. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving me 2 hours of your time.
No problem.
Maybe we'll have to do this again in a year or two. We'll see. All right.
Yeah, I'm down.
See you guys in the next segment. Tally ho.
Tally ho.
Good shit. OS is completely done. Go. Grenade. You got him. Go.
Oh fuck, I'm dead. There's three coming through mid. Just caught up.
Yep. One shot of palm.
Good shit, let's go.
No!
Let's fucking go, dude.
God, thank God.
Oh my god.
That was a booty clencher, bro, for real.